Okay, so this week was our start of logic, and we covered conditional, converse, inverse, and contrapositive. So if we're going to write our conditional, then we started with the conditional statement in class with Dallas and Texas. Okay, and so the basic was if you have been to Dallas, then you have been to Texas. Okay? That's our statement that we're starting with, so that's our conditional statement. And remember, we always want to identify whether the statement is true or false. So this statement is true, because if we've been to Dallas, Texas, then we've been to Dallas, okay? And then we broke this statement into our two parts. So remember, from the if to the Dallas, this is called our hypothesis. So this is my hypothesis of my statement. And remember, the ending from the then to the period is called the conclusion. So this is the conclusion. Okay? Also, another name for the hypothesis is the P phrase. And another name for the conclusion is the Q phrase. Okay? And then once we have our conditional statement made, then we have to write our converse statement. So here is our converse. So with the converse, remember, we pretend that we are with Willy Wonka and we flip it around. So we're not going to say Dallas first, we're going to say Texas. So if you have been to Texas, then you have been to Dallas. And again, we want to test whether it's true or false. If you have been to Texas, then you have been to Dallas. But what if you were in Beeville? What if you were in Austin or Houston? Then that wouldn't be true. So this would be false. Okay? The next step is to write your inverse statement. So your inverse, remember, add your inverse. Add your negation. And so remember, in order to do negation, we have to add the word not to our statement. And inverse is always the negation of our conditional statement. So we're just going to add not into both the hypothesis and into the conclusion. So if you have not been to Dallas, comma, then you have not been to Texas. Okay? So if you have not been to Dallas, then you haven't been to Texas. But remember, just because I haven't been to Dallas doesn't mean I haven't been to other places in the state. So then if we're going to test this one, it would be false. And so the next thing that we need to do is we need to write our last statement, which is our contrapositive statement. And our contrapositive, okay, is the flip of the inverse, contrapositive. Okay, so it is the flip of the inverse. So, but we still need our nots. So we're going to say if you have not been to Texas, then you have not been to Dallas. Okay, so if you have not been to Texas, then you have not been to Dallas. So that is your contrapositive statement.